Couple things on the list I should probably do. Wash the dishes, take the bins out too. Laundry's been sitting there 3 whole days, but the couch is calling in mysterious ways. I could fix that squeaky kitchen door, but I just sat down like 5 minutes before. The time in here and now just isn't right. I'll get to it, maybe later on tonight. I was just about to do it, I swear it's true. Give me 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 22. I was just about to start it when you walked in the room. Now I'm all distracted, whatever, I'll do it soon. I know the car needs fuel cause the warning light's on. Bills are due and the deadline's gone. My boss just said I really need that report, but hold on, Judge Judy has entered the court. The dentist called like twice today. Apparently that feeling just can't wait, but I've got a very strong urge right now to watch this video of a cat being friends with a cow. I was just about to do it, I swear it's true. Give me 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 42. I was just about to start it when you walked in the room. Now I'm all distracted, whatever, I'll do it soon. Smoke alarm screaming down the hall. Kitchen's filling up with flames and all. Neighbors yelling, hey, you smell that fire? But my Candy Crush store is still getting higher. Something just exploded, alarms are loud. Fire trucks and police cars, bit of a crowd. But this level's nearly done and I'm in the zone, so the house can burn, I'm not putting down my soul. I was just about to do it, I swear it's true. Give me 5 minutes, oh, like an hour or 2. I was just about to get up before everything caught fire. So chill out, I'll deal with it when I retire. I was just about to do it, I swear it's true. I was really gonna do it, I'm telling you, but I don't wanna do it. I don't wanna do
You just need to log in, should take a second or two. Enter email and a password, sorry that's not you. Must contain a number and a symbol and some ancient runes, and change it every other day, and it can't be one you view. They send a code to your email to verify it's you, but you can't check your email, that's what you were trying to fucking do. Prove you're not a robot, click every traffic light. Select all the bicycles, none of them are right. Jump through every hoop they've built just to get things done. You've replaced all the workers, congrats, now you're the only one.
Turn this down. Don't need this rubbish. Nice and quiet. There we go. I wasn't paying attention. I was all absorbed in stuff. I don't know what's going on. I was watching the wrong screen. I didn't realize the video had ended and I got all confused. Anyway, here we are. I'm going to let the song finish. It's very loud in my ear holes. So I'm just going to rock out. Welcome, everybody. I want to watch a rocket launch. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to watch a rocket go into space. Mate, well, not proper space. It's just like suborbital is the plan for Starship. And I want to check it out. We'll jump across there and we'll watch the SpaceX stream shortly. Shut up, music. We're done with you now. Enough. Behave yourselves. Good Lord. Anyway, where are we up to? What's YouTube doing over here? All right, I'm on the screen. That's a plus instead of just blackness. Not being racist, but you get the idea. Here we are. I haven't done this for a bit. Last time I did, lost my fucking mind. That's not going to happen this morning. We're going to behave. I do have something to rant about, but it's a different thing. What I am going to do, because my poor machine, for some reason, it was doing this last time, is really struggling. So we're going to go to output. We're going to drop it to like here, and the quality is going to suck balls, but that's fine. Nobody cares. It's YouTube. We're doing like gorilla something. Gorillas are cool, right? Whatever. Hey everybody, 'tis I, your old mate DP. Let's go across to the chatting screen and see if it works. I mean, that's not, yeah, there we go. Huzzah. Can I interact with this thing, this element, this little juby-joo? Probably not. YouTube chat scene. No, I've got to go to a different one. Fuck it. You're stuck with the poll sitting there. Unless I do a thing. Studio mode. Ooh, I'm playing with buttons. This is all going to go very wrong. Chat scene. Scroll across to, no, over this side. Interact. I don't want to close the poll, but I do want it to go away. No, no. Oh, God. I don't want to do any of that. This is stupid. Why is it all stupid? No! Stop it! I've ruined everything. Okay. Refresh. Refresh. God damn it. Shit a brick. So dumb. Light up again. Hey, there we go. Apologies for the poll thingy. It's there. You're all just gonna have to deal. We'll end it shortly. I don't know what I'm doing. You will know this. It's just how we roll. And now this is all out of whack. God, let's go to the viewing screen because we can. I got SpaceX feed up. Oh, gift memberships. Things are happening and I'm not paying attention. You absolute monsters. Jim Daniels has just sent 50 sponsorships to all of you lovely people. And it's been a while, but as you know, I try to read through all the gift memberships, having taken a deep breath. We're going to knock that over right now. Trickline Ted says, Aussie greeting. That's an ugly fucking cat. Thank you, sir. For 2 United States dollary dues. That is impressive. All right, we're going to try this shit and it's all going to get broken up and I'm not going to make it through 50. Holy shit, Jim Daniels. Thank you, sir. That is completely and utterly unnecessary. For reals, but shit. All right. Gift memberships went to CK Mama Sita, Geek G, Taylor Redgrave, Joe Black, Lindsay Bow, Golden Skeptic, Daryl M, Dougal Dog, Professor Phil Bell, Igor, Carl Childers, Mikey Meyer, Russell Gannon, Fowski, Natsuma Fan Lisa, Steve Fisher, Rick Shout, The Great Shamalama Ding Dong, best name ever, Bill Tately, Rossadante, Dan Demand, Bob Null, Maddie Matt Magic, CK dropped a chat that doesn't help me. Martin, Nero the Strange, Flat 72, Suspicious Internet Finds, John Rutanian, PJ, Mystery Emerging, Tim Davidson, Mike Goat Killer, Talk, thanks a lot, Andy, Greg Wade, Bench Thinker, Datafied, Didn't make it. Stevie B, Simon 455, Untalented Gamer from Past Future, Richard Glover, Ruby Bay, Plastic Citizen, Chris Gamers, fuck, stop chatting, you bastards. I can't keep up with all the gifts. Lewis Gray's got one. Deplorable Ilk, Marcel Young, Jessica Transmetal, Alchemist, Stromgoal, Moip, and Chris Games. Did I already say Chris Games and Plastic Citizen? I did, and that is all of them. One breath, that's not bad. Maybe two. There was another one that snuck in there. But if you did receive a gift membership, please extend your massive thanks to Jim Daniels for being an absolute fucking legend. Greetings to the Zoo crew. You can see there, that guy in the blue suit, that's Jared Isaacman. He is the director of NASA. There you go. He's in charge of the whole thing. He's been to space a bunch of times. Bit of a weirdo, and also a billionaire, but he does good work. Now, say what you will about the dude who owns SpaceX, but they build good rockets. They are about to take over the world with a $1 trillion IPO, which is just demented and retarded. But it is what it is. But that thing on the screen up there, that is Starship. It's over like hundreds of meters tall, or 400 and something feet. It's in a video that I did. You get the idea. Super heavy booster is all fueled up. You can see it there. It's white at the moment, not because of racism, but because it is fueled cryogenic propulsion, methane and liquid oxygen sitting in those tanks, ready to go, and shit's venting everywhere to get rid of gases, prevent boil off. And yeah, this thing is massive. It's a brand new launch pad for Starship, Launchpad 2. They're building a new one to match that. This thing is crazy. 33 Raptor 3 engines at the bottom of this thing. There's 3 Raptors on Starship, 3 vacuum optimized Raptors on Starship. They'll fire up later. The hot staging ring is now integrated into the ship. Only 3 grid fins instead of 4. All the avionics, all the software have been completely redone. And the feeder tube inside the super heavy booster is crazy because they changed all of that. And it's now basically got a Falcon 9 size feeder tube inside it. So it's like a giant rocket with a rocket inside. It's a spacebound turducken is what we're dealing with here, people. Nobody says turducken enough. I'm going to close the poll because it's annoying me. Will Starship explode? Was the question, or something like that. I can't remember what I did. I'm ending the poll. I didn't remind anybody to vote. Nobody cares. Starship go up, go boom, boom. 86% of you monsters say yes. Starship go up, go boom, boom. 14% say no, it's going to do all the things, and when they bring it down, it will explode, but it'll do it in a controlled fashion. I will switch on the audio with about a minute to go before we kick off and we launch up. Not too far away. I don't know. It doesn't look like any holds or anything. There will be a hold at about 40 seconds to check everything. That's what happened yesterday, and they kept holding and kept holding and kept holding, and it wound up with a scrub. But yeah, who's saying stuff? Sorry, I'm not keeping up with the chat. I'm very, very rusty. Starship hasn't made an orbit yet. They're still testing. Golden Skeptic. You don't want to send a thing to orbit unless you're 100% sure you can bring it back safely and not get it stuck up there. Real Cygnus, Vaporware Extraordinaire, absolutely. But this shit works, and Falcon 9 works, Falcon Heavy worked, and they're still flying crew supply missions and crewed missions up to the ISS. You know, assuming you believe the ISS actually exists, because we all know everything to do with space is fake and gay. So there is that. But the fact that this thing even launches is insane. The biggest, most powerful rocket ever built. And I'm a super nerd for this. This is my porn. So if you see the desk like shaking a bit like that, and you can't see both my hands, you know that's not true. I don't jerk off to rockets anymore. Okay. What is going on? Hi to everyone in the chat, by the way. I would call you all out, but I think I did by reading through those gifted memberships, which is crazy. Again, thank you to Jim Daniels. You are crazy. The turtle moves. Drops £2 in the chat. Are we taking bets on boomability of Starship? You just missed it, sir. We did a poll. 86% of debunkers right here in the debunkatorium are assuming it's gonna fucking explode. Fair enough. Either way, we're getting a show. We are absolutely getting a show today, as they always say. Excitement is guaranteed, as they do over on the Everyday Astronaut. And if you're not subscribed to Everyday Astronaut, Tim Dodge channel, you absolutely should be. The most important check: pointy end up, yep, and flamey end down. That's the important check you got to run. Tree claim pad for 2 United States Freedom Bucks. In the words of The Simpsons, make rocket go now. Absolutely. Let's hope they haven't packed any potato chips and the ants are all secure. Rocket go up, go boom, boom. I hope not. I want it to work. I want it to work. And we learned yesterday, the dude from the Fram 2 mission who did the polar orbit last year, he's a nutcase. He signed himself up to do a mission on Starship, which doesn't work yet, to do a flyby of Mars at some point. They haven't even got the thing in the orbit, but he's put his hand up and said, yeah, I'll jump on and take a 6 to 9 month round trip to Mars. Well, we don't land or anything. We just zoom past and come back, much like the Artemis mission. That mission's not going to happen. It'll be like the Dear Moon, but we'll see. Maybe it will. I don't know. But an important step on that journey is happening right now. I'm going to shut my face. I'm going to bring in the SpaceXular audio. I'll just unmute there. And here we go.
We're going to let the rocket take over and listen to some amazing pad sounds of the first flight of Starship version 3.
Can you hear SpaceX stuff? The audio might be out of sync. If it is, I apologize. I don't know how to fix it. You all know that. It's been happening for ever. Because I'm bad at what I do. I'm bad and I should feel bad.
The prop farm, we did hear that did just complete, so expecting them to reset that hold shortly.
MC Toon in the house. Welcome, sir. Good to have you along.
Clock, the hold is reset, clock is rolling.
Can you hear the snakes? The snakes everywhere. It's a snake pit underneath the rocket. That's what all that hissing is. I'm pretty sure. Pretty awesome. The chopsticks up the top, where they're going to catch it. Not today. No catch today. So the booster will dump into the Indian Ocean off the coast of Western Australia. Thank you very much. Like way
West 10,
off the coast.
9, 8.
Holy
7,
shit, we're going for
6,
it. It's
5,
deluge.
4, 3,
2,
ignition.
1. Make rocket go now. Holy shit. It's moving.
We have liftoff.
Don't explode. Don't explode.
Set you downrange.
Not yet anyway. Too close to people. You can explode later. Look at this fucking thing go. Look at the speed. The speed? Yes. Just hit 400 k's an hour. It's going to hit max Q at like 40 seconds or something now.
All right, we are T plus 30 seconds into flight, seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor 3 engines on booster
700
V3.
kilometers an hour.
Ascending over the
800.
Gulf now, coming up on maximum aerodynamic
Look at these
pressure.
views.
Booster and ship, avionics power, telemetry nominal.
Holy shit balls.
Systems looking good. We're just passing through the
Max
period of
Q.
maximum dynamic pressure.
There we go. Max Q. Maximum dynamic pressure. If it's going to
Little over a
explode,
minute
it's probably going to
into
do it
flight
now.
Vibrations chilling out here at Star Factory as we continue
Pitching
to
over,
watch
going horizontal.
Starship Flight
Want to get to
12 arc
orbit.
out over the Gulf.
through
The next
space.
major thing coming up is going to be hot
Bust.
staging.
Booster prop systems nominal.
Reminder, we do what's our
Age
version of
separation in
MECO. Most
about a
engines
minute.
cut off, so we're going to shut down all but 5 of the Raptor engines on the
This thing is
booster.
crazy.
And then
2,500
after
kilometers
that
an hour,
happens,
people.
We're going to ignite the 6 engines on ship while
Wow.
it is still attached. We have clamps that hold the 2 together. Those are going to retract inside of that hot
33
stage
Raptors
ring,
firing.
kind of protect them.
Nearly 30 kilometers up.
We had one of the engines go out, still flying on 32 of
Look
the
at the
Raptor
plume
engines.
behind
But
it.
again,
You probably
once we
can't
get the
really
hot
see it.
staging, those 6 engines on the ship are going to ignite.
Continuous
We're
shot.
going to do it in a little
Suck
bit
it,
different
Dirth.
of a sequence on version
No
3.
cuts. Dirth.
Essentially, those
No
3
cuts.
RVAC engines will ignite first. Almost immediately after, just one of those central engines is going to ignite, and that's going to give the booster
see,
a
like,
bit of
here.
a kick, sending it in a
There's
known
a launch
direction,
site.
followed shortly after by the
Straight
other
cut off.
2.
You can still see the tower. You can-
We're through Miko.
Huge separation.
Hot stage. Booster's on its way home. Boost
There
back
you
burn
go.
begins.
Successful hot staging separation.
No
We're
dramas.
not seeing as many booster engines ignite as we expected for boost back, but we are seeing 6 good engines lit on
It
ship.
goes. You can see it falling.
It looks like we just had
Booster's
an
down
early
here.
boost back
Bye bye,
shutdown.
booster.
Again, a reminder, the booster was planned to essentially head into the
See you
Gulf
later.
for a splashdown, but it has shut its engines down early on into boost back.
Falling. Boosters in free fall.
And
Using
we
the grid
just
pins for
see
guidance.
one of the
Oh, what a
RVACs,
view.
So we're now
Look at
running
this
on
shit.
5 engines on ship.
So ship on the right hand side.
We do have engine out
Booster that just
capability,
separated
so
on the
it's gonna
left.
continue into its ascent. You got
Telemetry
booster on
graphic
the left
down the
there,
bottom.
ship on the right.
Horizontal, just falling,
Get
burning off
avionics power
speed.
And we are
telemetry
not
nominal.
planning on bringing the booster back for this flight, as this was
Booster
the very
might go
first
boom
time.
boom. It's definitely going boom boom. At some point. Whether it's deliberate or not is another
All right,
question.
so about 3 minutes 50 seconds into today's flight. Just a reminder that the
Yeah,
ship
good shout,
planned
Big
to
Fish.
burn
You'll
its
notice
engines,
there's a fair
for
bit of curve
about 8 minutes and change.
in these shots.
About
If
8
you
minutes
will
and 11
cast your
seconds
eye
was our
just down
planned
here,
timeline
lovely
for
bit of
today.
curve.
That
Look
could
at
shift
that.
slightly, as we do have one engine out.
Oh,
running
it's
on one fewer
glorious.
RVACs.
And correct me if I'm wrong, MC Toon, but this doesn't look like a fisheye lens because it isn't flattening out and curving again.
Again, continuing to watch. So booster did
Oh,
not complete
yeah,
its boost
maybe
back
it's
burn.
kind of
We
inverting
did
there.
not see
Okay.
all of the engines ignite that we expected. Are continuing to get some views from it,
Maybe.
though.
But
That's gonna
still,
make a
right down the
splashdown
center,
somewhere in the
It's a
Gulf.
lot of curve. That is a sexy curve.
Reminder,
this is a
we
curvy
clear
bitch.
air, sea space, everything
Going
for
up.
these launches.
That's pretty consistent. Strong barrel distortion? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know
So
heaps
we are
about cameras.
coming up on T plus 5 minutes.
Alright, so we won't shove this in their face.
Ship
'Cause they
continuing
can
to
claim
fire
camera.
5 of the 6.
I don't want to talk to them anyway. But still, curvy as
Standing
shit.
by for callouts, making sure ship's on its planned trajectory. Again, we are planning a suborbital trajectory for the ship today.
It is consistent though. No ruds today. Booster
giving
still
us some
falling.
views as it continues to make its way back down towards the water.
Ooh, Starship.
All right, so a little over 5.5 minutes in flight. Kate,
Over
Jake, you
here.
guys with me? Looks like boosters starting to come in hot.
We're
Yeah, we had the opportunity.
missing a
to
vacuum
stand
engine on
outside to
ship.
Watch launch, and wow, that was incredible.
Yeah, that was really loud, really shaky, and I was actually surprised how fast the booster got off the pad or the whole stack. That was
Coming in.
quite incredible.
Absolutely. So we have
the
views
view on the
here from
booster.
the booster coming back down, making its
Like a
way
bat
into
outta hell.
the Gulf.
watch this
Pretty
thing
cool to
bleed
see.
off speed
Check
now.
Pressures on 5 out of 6 ship Raptor engines.
Great news there
Landing
for
startup.
Starship.
Look how fast this thing decelerates.
Once again, we were not going to bring the super heavy booster
Uh-oh.
back to the tower. We were planning
Uh-oh.
on having it land in the Gulf.
Uh-oh. I think
And
we
it
lost
looks
Super
like
Heavy.
The booster ended its mission there in the Gulf, but we've got a ship still flying. Great to see that. Still have 5 out of 6 engines there on S39.
There was like
We
a
also
burst of
heard
flame
good chamber
from the
pressures as
booster
well
from
on
Super Heavy.
those engines that are lit.
Yeah,
We
hit the
do
firmament,
have engine
Google,
out
for sure.
capability. We do see that we
Plonk.
have one
Damn
of
it.
the RVAC, one of the Raptor
Put black
vacuum
edit.
engines
Yep.
that is currently out, but that's okay. Ship is
Bye-bye,
continuing
booster.
on.
But hey, got ship up
Amazing
there. That's its
views
job.
of planet Earth there in the background.
Yeah, I love the S39 decal there. That just gives the ship a little bit of character.
1,400 kilometers an hour.
Again, all these
Yeah,
great
there's
views
not going to
brought
be
you
much of that
by
left.
Starlink, of course.
Unless it didn't. Unless when they went for the relight, it just exploded.
Yeah,
Where's the
obligatory
kaboom?
shot to the entire Starship avionics, camera,
Supposed to
electronics
be an
team.
earth-shattering
Did a
kaboom.
whole lot
And
of
there
work to
fucking was.
get these upgraded cameras.
Because we didn't get to see it.
A look inside of the ship skirt, you can see those 3 center engines ignited. The RVAC's continuing to fire as well. We did see at least a
It's
couple
still
engines
going.
fire up on booster for that landing burn before we lost contact with it.
Got some venting.
We should have just a little over 20 seconds to go. We'll see if the burn
Oh, yeah.
extends a
Look
little
at that.
bit.
Look at it.
For the engine out, essentially you can run your engines a little bit longer, or throttle up a little bit more to account.
No, I
for
saw your
the
comment,
one engine
Golden
not
Skeptic.
being
What
lit.
SpaceX is doing is 60 years
So right
behind
now
what
we
NASA
are
has
standing
done.
by
Uh,
for Seco.
Yeah. I mean, mostly fair, but when was the last time NASA launched a rocket and then brought it back to the launch site and landed it?
And again, we are continuing to go a little bit longer.
Like Space Shuttle, but different thing. The Space Shuttle glided in. It wasn't under propulsive power.
5 engines still burning on ship.
Like what SpaceX did with the Falcon 9, nobody thought was actually possible. The general consensus was you can't land and reuse a
Coming
rocket.
up on T plus 9 minutes.
And they've literally done it hundreds of times at this point. They got boosters that have flown 30 missions, which is nuts. The difference with Starship is they're doing or trying to do the same thing at a much larger scale.
And starting to see shutdown.
Didn't easy. This is like
RVACs
the
have
12th
shut
test
down.
flight
Sea levels
of
are
this
shut
thing.
down.
It's early days. It took them ages to get Falcon right, but once they did, and they cracked it, like the reliability of that thing is insane. True.
Seeing if we can
SpaceX is
get
doing it with a
an
completely
update
different fuel
on the ship
the
orbit
Metlock,
insertion.
instead
but we
of,
have shut down again. We did
shit,
run
what do you
longer as
call
we
it?
were engine out. We were flying with 5 of those 6 Raptors pretty much the whole time.
the word for the other propulsion that's toxic as
Ship
shit that
FTS
China
is safe.
uses. That everybody used to use. I can't remember it. I know it, but it's gone from my brain.
All right, well, we definitely got a
Engines
ship in
off.
space right now.
Mission for this launch, it is test flight 12. So testing the brand new redesign Super Heavy and seeing if all the stuff works. And it mostly did until it exploded afterwards on its way back down. But that's
As you can
fine.
see, the teams
Ship,
are
like
incredibly
getting up
excited to see
suborbital.
Starship there in space. We are awaiting
So
the
it's there
call-out
now.
of
It's entered the coast
nominal,
phase. They're going to relight one of the
insertion.
vacuum-rated
So we're
Raptor
gonna stand by
engines,
for that. We can
which
see the
again are
flaps,
all brand new. These are
moving
Raptor
here,
3s. These have
actuating.
never flown
But wow, the
before.
cheers
They're
here in the
flying
lobby
right
are
now.
certainly almost as
So
loud
they're
as
going to
liftoff
relight one of
was.
those,
Yeah.
and they've got, I think,
Man, a lot of action going on.
25
and,
or
you know,
26
We said at the top of the show, excitement
payload
guaranteed.
simulator
and we're
Starlink
only
satellites.
11 minutes in.
So
we still have a
you
lot
can
more
see
to go here,
here,
on the
that's
mission
the Pez
today.
dispenser on ship.
So all
So at some
objectives are
point
on the
it's gonna
booster.
stand up,
So now
that
all
door's
eyes are
gonna
on the ship
open,
as we get ready
and they're
for
going to
our
spit out
in-space
a bunch
objectives.
of
Exactly.
fake
So like I
Starlink
said,
satellites
we're
that'll
still
burn
standing
up
by to
on
hear the
re-entry.
call-out
2
for
of them
nominal
have
orbital
cameras on
insertion,
them,
but we've
and they'll
got
be
a
able to
few
turn
minutes,
around and give a view
before the
of
next milestone.
shit.
So we're going to continue.
which is pretty
We've
cool.
got some amazing views
And then
here
they're going to
of the
try
ship.
re-entry
Wow, it's just
with Starship,
this
seeing
is our planet.
how
This is our
the
home.
heat shield works, how it all behaves. They've changed the flaps. There's only one actuator on the flaps now instead of two. But they've got more electric motors,
As a
so
reminder,
it
the
should be more
objectives
responsive.
for
They need to
Ship
test
today,
that. They've got
not
some
only
different
included the
species
separation that we saw,
tiles on the heat
but
shield
we're also planning to
that they're going to
deploy
test out
20
and see if they can bring it
Starlink
down for a
simulator
control sort of
satellites,
pinpoint
as well as 2
landing,
Dodger Dog satellites. That's
like
what our
booster,
internal
see if it
teams
explodes on
refer
its way back down.
to as our newer satellites. We saw a preview
But yeah,
of those
this is
earlier.
some first class
We should see
CGI.
those deployments here in a little bit. We're also hoping to
Look
perform
at this shit.
a
What a
relight
view,
of
man.
a Raptor engine as well.
Far out.
Yep, that's exactly right. And the relight will look
Like-
a little bit different this time. We're hoping to get a little bit of a longer duration. Of course, we got to see once we get there. And that relight won't actually be changing our orbit necessarily, but we're doing it more so as a technology demonstration.
Nothing's happening for a minute, so I'm just going to kill the sound from SpaceX. Without really doing anything, and then I'll move them off my ears so I can't hear them. What was I going to say? Starlink, the internet thingy. So a huge constellation of satellites zipping around the Earth, allowing space-based internet and Wi-Fi communication and direct-to-mobile service. I kind of hate it because there's literally thousands of these satellites and they're launching more every single week. And in terms of like Earth-based observations of space using telescopes, it fucks everything up. If you're trying to get something like long exposure, depending on where you are, you can constantly have little dots of Starlink satellites zipping past all the time. And it's a big problem for astronomers and astronomy in general. And I don't know what you do about that because it's not just SpaceX. It's like multiple companies now, like Amazon with their Kuiper constellation, whole bunch of other constellations. Like now everybody's trying to do it, and it's going to cause a lot of problems because these things have solar panels and they reflect a shit ton of light. And they're trying to take actions in like dimming that or countering it and preventing how much light reflects off these satellites. But like the more shit you put up there, the harder that stuff is. So either we launch more space-based telescopes to get rid of the stuff like Nancy Grace Roman that's going up, I think before the end of the year, maybe early next year. You got James Webb out there. You still got Hubble active for the time being. All that sort of stuff. But it's not hugely practical because those things cost a fucking fortune. But even for ground-based like me with my shitty little Celestron or the stuff like Astronomy Live and Reds do, and like Vera Rubin out in the middle of nowhere, like this stuff impacts it, so it bugs me. Reason I'm saying all that is that what we're seeing on screen now is because of Starlink, so I'm kind of conflicted because this is cool as shit. Like Flatties keep saying we want live pictures from space and baby. Like here you go. Look at that. That's where we live. Forget all the jokes about CGI, blah blah blah. Like holy shit, ball! You can just see faintly. There, look at that. Their atmosphere right there. Like, god damn. So awesome. So what we're waiting for is relight of the Raptor or a Raptor. I think it's just one engine. Peter Markley's here, everybody. Give him a round of applause. Peter, booster stage separation was all cool. The hot staging with the integrated staging ring that's new on this version of the booster for V3 or Starship. Separated, went into its coast face gliding horizontal, started to straighten up, started its beast back burn. We saw a flash of flame and then the signal cut out. So RIP, super heavy. It exploded. Either it exploded on the attempted relight and it just went, nah, boom. Or as MC Toon said, it hit the water at about 1,400 kilometers an hour. I'm not a rocket scientist, but something tells me that 1,400 kilometers an hour is too fast for a rocket to hit the water and be okay. Either way, there's not much left. It's super heavy. So there's 33 Raptor 3 engines that got Starship up to orbit that are kaput. No more. They're gone. They're in the ocean. They're for the super heavy booster for test flight 12. Now it sleeps with the fishes. Very sad. But it did its job. It did its job, which was cool as shit. And what have you? So this is venting of gases, because now that the ship is up in orbit, or it's not in orbit, it's suborbital, but you know what I mean. The propellant, like, it'll be building up pressure in the tanks that they need to vent to make sure everything behaves itself. And they need to make sure it doesn't boil off, because there's very specific temperatures that the propellant needs to be stored at. If it goes above or below that, it's shit. It will convert into a gas, which isn't good, because liquid oxygen and liquid methane they need, not gas. So if the temperature gets too high, they're in trouble. So even though they're in space and space is cold, the sun is hitting this thing and it's warming everything up. So that's a problem. MC Toon says, I wish I was video of the splashdown, but it probably wasn't anywhere near the intended area, so no cameras. Yeah. They might do what they've done before, like after the fact, they'll have like a tracking shot or something that they release later. I hope so, because SpaceX have usually been pretty good about releasing those views. Big Fish, 33 engines, Masonic proof right there. I knew it. You're onto it. Illusion, Jupiter Mining Corporation. I understand that reference. So what you're looking at there is the payload for the mission. Those are the mass simulators for Starlink satellites. I think the version 3 Starlink satellites that they call Dodger Dogs, because when they launch, like, they get spat out like a Pez dispenser, which is why they call it a Pez dispenser. And then they've got like arms that stick out the end. So if you think of like, oh, we're going for it. Do it. Here we go. Paktua. Pew pew indeed. Sorry, I'll turn the audio back on.
Two down, 20 to go.
Again.
As a reminder, that's one of the things that we upgraded in version 3. Kind of gave a little soup up to the Pez dispensers, so those satellites going to move out a little bit quicker than they did on previous Starship flight tests. So first 2 out the door, 2 more on their way out.
Oh. Glitchy poo. A view from outside. Pew pew. That is so awesome. Bye, pretend satellite.
To go.
Have fun burning up. These will all burn up in atmosphere because it's suborbital, so they will re-enter and they'll get destroyed.
Skills here today.
Before they do any damage or cause any problems.
The majority of this stack, 20 of these 22 satellites, they're essentially just
proper
mass simulators, so they're roughly the same size as those Starlink V3 sats that we're hoping to fly later this year.
Yeah, Quick Time Tag nailed it. Intentionally releasing these where they fall back to Earth. but they won't hit Earth. They'll burn up in the atmosphere.
And from this top-down view, so you're looking down at the stack, those two satellites you see on the very top, that they'll look very different. They've got solar arrays. They've got a bunch of other deployables on them that we're going to be testing out that are going to be V3 tech, and they've got 3 engineering cameras and then 1 other camera that's hopefully going to be giving us some views of Starship in space. But we will see how that works. Again, this...
Kill the audio for a second because I don't want to talk over old mate over at SpaceX. So these are a payload simulators. So they pretend Starlink satellites are the same mass as Starlink satellites. This is the biggest payload they've had on Starship. And they're testing the Pez dispenser to launch these friggin' things to see if it works. And off they go. And a couple of these have cameras on them, so they'll be able to have a look back at the ship and do what they used to do with the space shuttle from the ISS and inspect the heat shield, which they haven't been able to do before, and see how that held up on the flight. Did any tiles fall off? Are they using the right adhesive? All that sort of stuff, which is super cool. Because the main payload for all their test flights is data, because they're testing the ship and trying to refine it, iterate, and do what they do to make sure it works. And they've got 25 shots at this. You'll find Golden Skeptic, they're clapping because these people work their ass off to make this happen. Because people have jobs and actually work on this stuff. So they're like watching what they've been working on in space actually do the thing that they wanted it to do. So it's a happy time. No, it's fine, Tree Clan Tag, because what Geek G is saying is true. I am, in fact, a space rubbish dispenser, especially today. If you're asking Golden Skeptic, absolutely. I'm a space rubbish dispenser today. Yeah, exactly. Curious. They'll have cameras looking back at Starship that Starship just launched out of Starship, and Flash will still say, "Nuh-uh, fake and gay, fake and gay." Yeet. That's what it should be, Tad. Every time they launch one, there should be a sound effect, like either hot or yeet or Leroy Jenkins. Every time they spit one out. This is why they don't let me design rockets, because I would do dumb shit like that and add unnecessary weight. Golden Skeptic says maybe the USA could play the World Cup in space. It would sell more tickets, probably. Or, you know, they could have priced the tickets in a sane manner. I won't be going to the World Cup. Because I don't really want to travel to the United States at the moment. But also, even if I had a spare 100, 200 grand, which I absolutely don't, because I'm still waiting for my annual NASA Shield check, tickets are just way too expensive. It's crazy. Are the flying background little balls other satellites, or no? It'll just be like bits of ice. More than likely is what that will be. But yeah, it is weird. Or it's just bubbles because they're filming it underwater in a tank. What failure, Golden Skeptic? It's a test flight. What failure? Fart sounds? Fart sounds would be epic. The US is still deporting Australian leprechauns, so best you don't try. Well, maybe I'll be fine because I'm not a leprechaun. I identify, I'll have you know, as an Oompa Loompa. Thank you very much. It could be dust. It's probably ice because of the change in temperature from like being on the pad with all the cryogenic fuel and then launching up. So it will probably ice shit up on the inside as well. Plus you've got like, but it's a test vehicle. There's no crew bay or any real separation. So frost from like the header tanks or feeder tubes, all that sort of stuff would be a factor inside. 10 test flights, no orbit yet. Would you like them to do that on the first one, Golden Skeptic, where everything just breaks and they can't be certain where they bring the thing back down, so they have no control or vote over where it lands? That would be pretty dumb. Which is why they deliberately aren't putting it into orbit until they know it works. Like this flight, one of the Raptor vacuum engines didn't work. They need to figure that out before they even attempt it. And yeah, they're doing it quickly, like really quickly, but they're also doing it carefully because the aim with Starship is to get this thing human rated for space flight. You don't mess around with that shit. Blue Origin did it, and whose work and technology did they leech off? Were Blue Origin the first company to launch a rocket and then land it on a drone ship? No. Also, the first time Blue Origin did it, they lost the second stage. It didn't reach its required orbit, which by your standards is a failure. So don't call out Blue Origin and say they did it, because they kind of didn't. Was it the first one or the second one? First one, they didn't reach orbit. And something went weird with the second one too. There we go. Let's listen to SpaceX while I read Big Fish's
One out
chat
the
here.
door.
I think that's the last one, Taylor.
In this view, you can kind of
Banding
see on
accounts,
the right
didn't get your
side of
message
the
field check.
satellite, you see some
Would have been
bright
MIA.
white
Ah, okay.
spots. Those are our flashlights beneath
I was
them.
on a
The
special
camera's
secret
gonna
mission. I just
attempt to
can't
look
talk
back
about
and
it.
image Starship's heat shield
Damn it.
as it flies slowly away from the vehicle.
There we go. This one's got cameras. Pew pew!
Let there be light.
Yeah, it almost looks like
That's the
light
noise.
just shining right at us.
Yeah. Every single one of them out the door. Amazing.
So we're pretty excited.
Mario kicking a Cooper shell.
It is always sunny in space.
Always sunny
There's a
in
video
space,
for someone to
and
make
that looks like an
Of
empty
different sound
payload
effects
bay.
every time they
So
launch.
that's exactly
simulated
what you want to
payload.
see there. That's great.
I do it, but
So yeah, with
I'm
payload
lazy.
deploy complete. Oh, you can see the door closing there. All right, there we go. So yeah, with payload deploy complete, Starship will now close its.
Dude looks like Mr. Beast. Is that the sun? No,
Starship,
these are
we
two people
closed
that
the
work
payload
for
door,
SpaceX,
and we're
okay?
going to continue to coast around Earth all the way
know what you
to
mean.
the Indian Ocean. So still a lot of major events to come today. Sounds like we're not going to hit that Raptor relight based on what Dan was saying, but after that, of course, we'll have the atmospheric reentry and splashdown. And with that, we're going to go on another quick coast.
So sit tight, enjoy some amazing space views and the space jams, of course. And we'll be back in a few minutes for Raptor relight. Excuse
Space
me, not
jams.
for the
Get it?
relight,
Space
but
jams.
we'll be standing by for atmospheric reentry.
Yeah. Flappy flap flap. Bit of flap action. Flap move. So if anything's gonna melt, it's gonna be that thing. The actuator. See how these redesigned flaps hold up on re-entry. Yeah, I was hoping for that view. And we're not getting it. Maybe they'll cut it in. Or maybe they'll like hold on to it until they check out the damage in case there's something crazy going on. And they're like, oh, we don't want to show anybody that. That's the sun. Right there. Hello. Think, is it? Gotta be. What else could it be? I'm just going to turn off the noise. Because I don't know what music they're playing. Canadian Space Africa asks, haven't you got the compensation for the shrink ray mishap from NASA yet? I did, but I spent it all on magic beans. Those things are going to pay off. They're not bubbles, Dearth, in case you're watching. That's ice. Because you can still see the frost line from the propellant towards the rear of the ship. Nice. Breaking off the ship. Why did they just move away so quickly? Oh, it's probably venting gas for attitude control. Dodger Dog's flashlight. Yeah, that's a good shout. Because it was in shadow on that side. So, like, the shadow was creeping over. So it's probably the light from that payload back onto the ship. See, this is why MC Toon's like the best, because he's smart and he thinks about stuff. I'm just an idiot. I'm the wrong person to host this. But that makes me even better at it, because I can just be excited and dumb. Spaceship! Spaceship! Very, very cool. The other thing this version of ship has, V2, which is way more comfortable to say than the previous version, which was referred to as V2. This is V3. V2, a little bit uncomfortable, given some of the historical associations. V3, less confronting. It's got docking ports on it that they're not using, but there's 4. They're like little round. That's not a good gesture. Don't click that. There's circular docking ports forward and aft. Aft is a ship term. You're welcome. That are basically, I'm talking to the zoo crew, so this is all going to be taken as really suggestive and gross. There's holes in these docking ports. The idea being there would be another ship down the track, probably some form of tanker, that has extendable docking arms. They align the 2 ships in orbit like that, and then they stop it. They insert those into the docking ports, and it links up in 4 ways, and they can do propellant transfer. That is a key component of the whole Starship program and thing that they want to do. And they're aiming to be testing that at some point this year. They also need to pull their digit out if they want to take part in Artemis 3, which I don't think they're going to be ready for next year, which is a version of Starship that can dock with Orion and help push that bad boy out to the moon. I don't think they're going to get there and they're going to be ready, which is a shame. But eventually, we'll see. SpaceX have done crazy shit before. Are you having Werner von Braun guilt? Not at all. It's just the V2 rocket, like, did a shit ton of damage to a shit ton of people. Yes, lots and lots of docking, Calder. God damn it. I'm not going to talk about the docking system anymore. The fuel transfer system is what it is, although that's not much better, is it? Anyway, this has been fun. Hey, all of you watching, thanks for hanging out and coming in. I haven't done this for ages, so the fact that anybody's here is amazing because I've been MIA. But super cool. Thanks for coming along. I'm not wrapping up yet. I want to see the rest of this shit. And I want to have my rant, which has Tree Clan Tad. Dock for CK, everybody. Agreed. All the docking. This is not right. This is not right at all. Geek G says the innuendo is strong with this one. Hey, Geek G, in your endo. V2 was the first video to Earth. Yeah, but it kind of killed what it was filming. Sad. Although in Command and Conquer Red Alert, the V2 was like, V2 was the meta all the way. Not really. Do you know what my favorite thing to do in Command and Conquer Red Alert was? Like, forget all the vehicles, all the different types of units and blah, blah, blah. Just spamming infantry, straight up infantry, and just sending hundreds of the bucks. It was so much fun. Except for the stupid mechanic where if the enemy had tanks, they just send them out and run over your dudes, and it's like instant death. and the dudes didn't even try to run away. Dumbest mechanic ever, and I will never ever forgive Westwood Studios for that. Anytime you play an RTS and that thing appears, it's their fault, and it sucks. God damn it, Westwood, what were you thinking? Send your docking photos. People, do not send docking photos to CK or anyone else for that matter. We're venting some gas from the looks of things. 26,478 kilometers per hour. Ship is traveling at right now. Very, very cool. 33 viewers. We are Masonic as fuck here in the Debunkatorium today. But it's the only place unsullied by capitalism. Spice! Oh, Tim Curry. Classic. Good shout, Tree Clan Tad. I have that clip in one of my videos. I can't remember what video, but it's there. What are we doing? Oh, MC2, we got video. Look at this shit. Come on. Docking port, fuel transfer port, right there. How good is this? This is from that last one they spat out. Pez door closes. So yeah, that was the light we were seeing. You can see still. I don't know if that's fuel line.
All right,
fuel
so
ice or
surprise. Looks like our cameras did work. We've made contact with both of those satellites.
that is so
We're gonna roll
cool.
that back again.
Get back to
Again,
that view. That was
this
yes,
is a
do it.
view from one of those satellites as we deployed. It looks like this was from the last one out. Flashlight.
That is
turned
one of the
on, taking a
coolest
look at
things I've ever
Starship
seen.
in space. The way this system is set up is the satellites are essentially recording it
Man,
and making contact with our
Look at
Starlink constellation and then
this.
transferring that video back
if
down
they
to
wanted
us
to
on
view
the
a
ground.
ship, like, holy crap, did they get one?
That's a Starship in space. So aside from this
Come
being really
on.
cool, this was our test to try and develop a free flyer that we could fire outside of Starship's payload.
See the
bay,
attitude
look
control
back
thrusters
at
going
it,
off, more
and
ice.
then do essentially a pirouette
Coming off.
with
Oh my
Starship to get a
God.
look at the heat shield, where it's going to be really important when we start bringing these things back for a catch, which we are hopefully doing
Oh,
in
man.
the not too distant future, as they are intended to be.
See the cassette move
fully
inside us at least. Yeah, yeah,
reusable.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But this will give us an opportunity to look at the heat shield.
It is Lindsay,
while
but now they
Starship is
won't
still
want
in
it because it's
space.
fake and
So
gay.
there was a glimpse. We'll see if we get any more video down from those satellites, but I mean that's one we've been chasing for a while. So really
Bearing in
cool to
mind
see
too,
it
like they're
come
all
to
going to lose their
fruition here on
minds over
Flight
the
12.
cuts and the switches between different
Alright,
cameras
coming up
on the
40
same
minutes,
craft
40 minutes into
because
the
that's what they
flight,
do.
and we should start
But
hitting
other than when
the
we
re-entry
lost,
period,
like
in the
I had fucking
next
anything to do with it.
7 minutes
Other than
or
when
so, you'll start
Super
to see
Heavy
a
went
light
up
show building up.
and
As we had
exploded.
talked about, we did skip that on-orbit relight of the Raptor engine. It was not needed for our trajectory or anything. We are on this suborbital trajectory to splash down in the Indian Ocean. We are going to attempt a landing burn. We'll see how they perform when we get there. And just a reminder, we are going to be stressing the ship on the way in. We're going to intentionally do a maneuver where we're going to kind of pitch the nose up and deploy those bottom flaps to really put a lot of pressure on them. So we'll see how it does through that maneuver, and then we'll be doing kind of a final banking turn before we get to a landing burn. So all that coming up in a few minutes. The light show should start beginning real soon.
I turned my mic off instead of the other one. Thanks, Canadian Space Advocate. Thanks, Dougal Dog. I just play music again now. What's Ludwig analyzing? What did you analyze, Ludwig? I don't know. I'm not keeping up with chat at all. I'm blown away. Oh man. I'm like MC Toon. I just be pulling an Arwen. That sounds so wrong. For the record, I would never, ever, ever pull an Arwen. He's not my type. He's not my type. Juicebox King, King Nico is objectively better looking. I'm just saying. We don't have to have the debate because it's no contest. But I would never pull Arwen. Not my thing. Oh no, I mentioned he who shall not be named, and I'm going to set CK off. CK, deep breaths, behave yourself. All right, he's not here. It's okay. Copium Emporium is here, everybody. My countrymen. COUNTRY, countrymen. See with Doc with Juicebox King. I can neither confirm nor deny. Can't reveal all my secrets. Oh, we know, CK. We know. Would you push an Arwen? I'm not going there. I've never had that much exposure to Arwen and his streams and stuff, other than like the clips that MC Toon will show or what Spinny digs up. Like, but the time I came on the scene, he was already like kind of done and old news, so he's never really been in my wheelhouse or radar. Which, from everything I've heard, I should be grateful for. MC Toon's making me joke with that. Me too, CK. Me too. I believe what we're looking at there, ladies and germs, that would be the curvature of Earth or barrel distortion, but come on, it's Earth. And that would be the sun behind it, picking up over the butt. Nick N, it's not a crossbow. I've seen that clip. Max played it yesterday on stream. I was hanging out with Max and Spinny and MC Toon and Unfornicated and Jack Feder, Fjord. Who else was there? Bunch of people. I'm sorry, I've forgotten all your names. Globy popped in. Globy McGlobeface. That was awesome. I gave him a present, which I think he was quite chuffed about. Get fucking stuffed. Yeah, 70Ks indeed. So if you've never watched Starship attempt to re-entry before, and if you're here, I dare say you have, but if you haven't, you are in for quite a show. What you're going to see shortly is that Plasma is awesome. And Ship's either going to behave and make it all the way to Splashdown, or we're going to lose signal and be left wondering what happened. We're not wondering. If we lose signal, it means Starship exploded. Roger that is here. We're not re-entering yet, but we're starting to. We're coming down. I'm keeping half an ear out for the call-outs from SpaceX as well, because I bring their audio back in when they're done. What I might do... Can I... No. No. I can't remember how to drive, like, any of my scenes. I'm just going to leave it alone. I was going to make the video a bit bigger on screen, but legit, I can't remember how to do it. So when I've talked about the rebrand and like, why have I got two Satans on screen? There we go. Just pop him away. We got a bigger Satan down the bottom. I don't need two Satans. You can have too much Satan, is all I'm saying. Rebrand of the channel. We're getting rid of the debunks part or debunks part, depending on where you are on the planet. I don't know what it's going to change to. I don't know what it'll still be. DPD, because it makes me giggle for obvious reasons. If they're not obvious to you, Google it or ask your parents. I don't know what the initial will stand for. If anything, I might just let all of you decide for yourselves. Yeah, so that'll be a thing. And the channel will be less about flirts and all that nonsense and just whatever I want to talk about. And there is something I want to talk about after we all get off on Starship re-entry. DP docking. That'll be my OnlyFans, Big Fish. If you want the link to my OnlyFans, you need to hit me up on Discord. And you won't get it because it doesn't exist. It's not going to be DP docking. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, the whole idea of like, I'll let all of you decide for yourself. That's a bad call. I already have regret. We're not doing that. DP Football Manager? No. I still haven't really touched FM 26. Sad. DP the best. That's not bad, Dougal. I like it. Monkey Cat Pat Pat suggested digests, but it kind of makes it sound like a food channel. I could just sit here and eat, stuff my face. Yeah, fucking served. Oh, Fred. But yeah, I put a lot of work into losing some weight. Yeah, Jim, if you can just go over and give everybody a gift membership to onlyfans.com/DP docking, that'd be great. SpaceX Audio. I'm going to shut my face for a minute.
Of Starship version 3. As Dan mentioned earlier, we were able to make contact with the modified satellites just shortly after deployment. And as you may have seen, we got some sweet views of those sats looking back at the ship. Pretty cool to see.
Yeah, those views were incredible.
Now, as you see on your screen, currently the ship is re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. This is the plasma starting to build up on the exterior of the vehicle. Now, we do not plan to recover the spacecraft today, but rapid and reliable reusability is the ultimate goal.
Yeah, that's right. And re-entry is a critical phase of flight, and we need information on how the ship's systems perform. Re-entry is an extremely demanding portion of flight where we essentially have to scrub all of the energy we use to launch the rocket back off in reverse. So
thanks, Jim.
The 18 million pounds of thrust that we had off 33 of those Raptor engines.
Just a little.
Just a little. We're now, and then another, several minute burn on the ship. We're now basically undoing all that energy here via aerodynamic braking, essentially. And of course, Starlink is a big part of it, as that's what allows us to actually gather this data and show these live views. And again, the data gathering is really the main reason why we're doing these flight tests. So Starlink provides us just one more path to collect that data that ultimately allows us to rapidly iterate Starship's design.
Now, if ship manages to make it all the way through re-entry, we'll collect valuable data on the spacecraft flying through the Earth's atmosphere at these hypersonic speeds, which is basically more than 5 times the speed of sound. Now, we do anticipate that it might be a little bit of a spicy re-entry, so we'll see how far we get. Re-entry is typically a portion of flight where we don't have communications with the spacecraft because it's re-entering at or around orbital velocity, roughly 8 kilometers per second, or for those of us that think in other units, roughly 5 miles per second. At those speeds, the spacecraft is moving through the atmosphere, and it creates that plasma field that we saw forming around the vehicle.
Yeah,
ship go down.
Plasma looks really
go
cool.
Boom, boom.
It does
Rud
distort
time.
some communication frequencies.
Nope. Down,
so
baby.
It's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication.
Rud, as we all know. Rapid unscheduled disassembly. Coolest way to say fucking blew up.
Of course, thinking long term here, Starship is designed to land on Mars where there are no runways or other humans to help out. That's why we're going with
it's Western Australia. Nobody cares.
More traditional means like parachutes.
They're not even real people out there.
Propulsive landing, not only, again, is it more cool, but it enables a more rapidly reusable rocket.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Big Fish.
Now we
you are 100% right.
Call-outs
it should be known as the drop bear maneuver.
Back to Earth. When we hear entry max heating and entry max Q, that means the ship has made it through the maximum heating and aerodynamic loads that it
Ludwig,
will experience as it returns.
just so you know,
So if we make it through
let me
those,
just cut
we're
the
doing
sound.
pretty well.
I need to be really clear. Ludwig, just so you know, in relation to gematria, I just want to be really clear with you. Gematria is complete and utter bullshit. Just in case there was any question or confusion around that, I just want to let you know it's total bullshit. Cool. Back to SpaceX.
Currently below, at, and above the speed of sound, kind of in that Mach 0.8 to 1.2 range. And for reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but mostly fly around Mach 0.74 to Mach 0.85.
Please note, current altitude, about 69 kilometers. Nice.
This refers to speeds that are much less than the speed of sound, so at this point in the flight, ship's velocity will be slowing down.
It is. Look at that. He's right.
We definitely
He's a
have
genius.
a crowd still here in the lobby of SpaceX headquarters down here at Starbase, Texas. Everyone is, loves watching ship re-entry. It's always such amazing colors. This must be what it feels like to be one of those praying mantis shrimp or mantis shrimp. I can't remember exactly what the name is, but the ones that
million
see
other
in
people watching this
billions
right
of
now.
colors. This is the closest I
Just
feel
this
to being
stream.
one
How
of those.
crazy is that?
Yep. I think one other thing that's cool to point out right now is
We're under
looking
69
in the
kilometers
bottom
now.
right,
Yeah.
you can see where we are on a globe there. We're
Don't forget the pole.
squarely in the Indian Ocean already. And
Ship go down, go boo boo.
we've only been flying for 53
Yes or no?
minutes.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna
pretty
blow up,
crazy.
we're
We
gonna
went all
make
the
it,
way from
and then blow
Texas
up.
to the Indian Ocean in
Give
less
another
than an
couple
hour.
minutes.
She flies pretty
Make your
fast.
voice heard,
That is
people.
for
Very
sure.
fast.
Hold on, 1 second. Got to deal with Ludwig. Oh, got it. So all the powerful kings and world leaders and billionaires and trillionaires have expert advisors in gematria and numerology and astrology right by their sides, but they're bullshit. Got it. Yeah, unless you can present me evidence that that is a thing, categorical evidence, then yes, it's all bullshit. Also, on planet Earth, at least right now for the next few days, there are no trillionaires. We're about to get our first one, probably, but that's not a thing, which tells me that everything you just said is batshit crazy and not supported by evidence. Cool.
We're going to try and do that today. Since we did skip the in-space burn, we're carrying a little bit of extra propellant in our header tanks up in the nose. And so that's going to put a little bit of extra stress on those forward flaps as we come in. So
He said
we
flap.
will see if they're able to hold through that reentry. So that will be another watch item. We did skip that in-space burn, but we are expecting at least 2 of those sea-level engines to try and ignite for a landing burn. We entered the entry period in a good attitude, so hopefully making our way to the target.
It's important to have a good attitude.
We've got that
You've got to stay
Starship
positive
recovery team
when you're a
standing by.
spaceship.
And
I'm
we
glad
should
it's got a good
be
attitude.
About 10 minutes away from
Nothing worse than a rocket
splashdown. So
that's just an
a lot of
asshole.
excitement over the next couple of minutes. Kate and Jake, let's see how Starship holds up on the way in.
Yeah, and we just heard on the nets there that engine.
Then give me a name, Ludwig. Tell us who it is, champ. Reveal your secrets. Enlighten all of us. But if you've got it from ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini or Claude or any of that, then I don't want to fucking know. And you need to present your sources. Actual evidence. Otherwise, you're just talking crap. Pull your head out of your ass. We don't deal with this shit here. Facts. Actual facts. Not vibes. Facts.
But right now, we're really going to be testing the structural strength of these flaps on the way in. Again, this is a flight test. We're trying to
Yeah, I need to refer to
find
him as
where our
Axel Vass, the
limits
Saint
are.
Seaman of the ass crack.
And in this view, you're looking
Update your
at
username,
a whole
Ludwig.
bunch of tiles.
Icy
I
Spin's
think Jake
done the
talked
hard
about
work
it
in
earlier.
gematria
We
for you.
bonded
Right
some
there, on
additional
the screen.
tiles to the leeward, or kind of the metal side of Starship, to see how those different bonding techniques would hold up. And looking like we've got quite a bit still attached.
So you know, Ludwig, everybody in chat is
Yeah,
just
as we're
waiting for
going
me to
down
give
through the
Whack Control
atmosphere
permission.
here,
Not
we
doing
are
it yet.
at about Mach
Mending the pole.
16.1. So still extremely fast. Although
It
we
is
have
split, like,
scraped
right
off
down the middle.
substantial
52%
amount
of
of our
people
speed
out of
already.
21 votes reckon
altitude.
Nah, we're splashing
at
down
a
today.
little less than
48%
60 kilometers.
want to see this ship go fucking boom. See what happens. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we all know Jim Daniels is the richest person on earth.
All right, we're about 8 minutes away from
Oh, that's not a good
our
one too.
targeted landing
Oh, I
and
don't like that.
splashdown time. Again, this is when the ship's going to start
Although
really
if it's
getting
reversed-
closer to
The
the ringer.
end of the peak heating region.
Would that be like a resurrection thing? No, that's not so bad.
Just heard the call out, getting to the end of the peak heating, so
Open up to flat
the
Earth.
highest temperature the Starship's going to see.
Hey, Ludwig, are you suggesting that we accept flat Earth as our Lord and Savior? Let it into our hearts? That's idolatry. That's frowned upon in most faiths. Not a good thing. What am I drinking? I'm on the hard stuff, CK. I am drinking water from my water bottle. This is just water, not vodka. I promise. It's just water. I'm going to play a gig tonight, so I'm hydrating, because later tonight I'll be drinking beer. On stage, what could possibly go wrong? But yeah, I'm playing a gig.
Yep, that is just a really cool, kind of cool piece of perspective there. I know some people say it makes them a little
And the
seasick,
band-
but I definitely love it.
The band has a cool as shit name. It's called Safe Word, which I'm sure the Zoo crew would appreciate. Safe Word for life. Nervous water? No, that would be urine, I think. I'm not a flatty, so that's not my bag.
Themselves are holding up. That's why we've got these in the flaps and then all scattered all
It's
around
not
the ship, so
melting.
you can see how they hold up. There's some
Water's drink of
internals in the
shady people
vehicle, too,
nervousness.
that-
Sorry,
we're
it took me
getting
a second
all of this
too.
video
Yes,
back via
super
Starlink,
nervous.
even as we're just enshrouded in plasma. We're able to kind of operate
Don't
at
strawman
a
me,
high
bro.
enough frequency to punch through,
Fallacy.
and that is blue ocean and sunlight you're seeing
Pomeranian.
just beyond the flap. So we are coming down into daylight, hopefully splashing down in the next 6 minutes or so in the Indian Ocean. We've still
creepy.
got
This is my shocked
a
face,
couple
CK.
maneuvers lined up where we're going to be really stressing the flaps on the ship. So
Ship has passed through the peak heating region. External temperatures are coming down.
Wow, that is
Peak heating
incredible
region,
news.
Starship is
As
hot
Dan
as
mentioned, We were
fuck.
expecting this reentry to be super spicy, but excellent news that we're now past that period of peak heating and that now the external temperatures are starting to decrease.
Ludwig, are you going down the route of like Charlie McKenzie and So I Married an Axe Murderer? Well, it's a well-known fact, Sonny Jim, that there's a secret society made up of the 5 richest people on Earth, known as the Pentaveret, who meet triannually at the secret country mansion known as the Meadows. So who exactly is in this Pentaveret? The Queen, the Vatican, the Gettys, the Rothschild, and Colonel Sanders before he went tits up. Ooh, I hated the Colonel
right,
with his
just
weird,
about 5
giddy
minutes
eyes.
or so to go. We're coming up shortly.
And that smug
on
look on his face. Oh, you're going to
the-
buy my chicken. Oh.
the maneuver where we're gonna, it's affectionately called the flap slap, where we're going to kind of pitch
Dad,
the
how
nose
can you
up on
hate
the ship, and you're going to
the
see
Colonel?
those aft flaps, the ones
Because he
with the
puts an
ribbon fully
addictive
deployed.
chemical in his chicken that makes it crave it fortnightly. Smarter.
Ship is at peak dynamic pressure.
And scene.
And we're now at peak pressure.
So I Married an Axe Murderer, one of my favorite movies of all time. If you haven't
Ship
seen
flap
it,
load test
check
has
it
started.
shit out. And you're welcome. If you have seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Fucking classic. Best thing Mike Myers ever did. We've got to save the bees, Dougal. That's why we take them to space.
Looks like
Oh,
it's
you
holding.
see the glow on the heat tiles? Maybe.
Again,
looked like they
the
were glowing.
intent of that was to put just a
This is a
lot
camera
of extra stress
on the flap.
on those aft flaps. We are expecting the forward ones too to see a little bit of extra
That was a
stress
great
as
shot.
we've got a little more propellant
Yes,
in our
Mike
header
Myers'
tank,
best
so the
film.
area right at the very nose of
Ship
Starship
flap load
that kind
test
of
is complete.
and we're through
Hey,
that
Ludwig,
test.
a
There we
derpy
go.
video
And we just did that
generally
test at Mach 7, just for reference there.
won't
so we are
really count as
still
empirical
going
evidence,
incredibly
but I
fast.
appreciate the punniness of it, given you were talking about the royal family. But it definitely
All right, we are
provides
just about 3.5
everyone
minutes or so away from
with the link
our
to that video.
targeted landing
Or send
burn.
it to Big
Again,
Fish.
we're expecting to try and see 2 of these Raptor engines light for the landing burn. Normally we plan for 3.
Maybe I'll even do a
try with
stream
2.
and we'll review said video for you. And you can educate all of us. It'll be great.
Hopefully we've got
Ship is
Seren.
starting the
I won't.
RTLS banking maneuver.
Sounds really boring. I'm not interested.
And that right there, so we're starting a banking maneuver, and essentially what that is when we come back to Starbase, or when we plan to come back to Starbase, the trajectory is designed so we'll essentially swing out over the Gulf and do a swoop maneuver to then come back to the towers for catch. And so
just turn off the thing. So plasma done, peak heating done, and you can see like discoloration and all sorts of crazy shit going on ship, but the heat shield has held up and it survived it, which is amazing. We didn't really see, I don't think, any damage to flaps or actuators, so whatever the problem was in the earlier flights is like fixified, which is cool as shit. And now it's just free falling. You can see its angle down here. It's like nose diving towards ground. As we get closer, we're only 25 kilometers up from Earth. See some lovely curve there in the background, which is awesome. Dynamic pressures coming down was a call out. I'll turn the SpaceX audio back on. Here we go.
yeah, executing the power slide, we're about 90 seconds away from our anticipated landing.
Sorry, SpaceX audio off. Ludwig, or whatever his actual name is. Sorry. 70-year-old man. There we go. I will just tell you what here. The video title is Why This Flat Earth Video is Important. The channel name is Mark Sargent. It's a short video that proves there's not curvature as there should be on ball. Look at this shit, dude. Thanks for playing, Ludwig. Sorry, we have been watching this for an hour. Staring at curve. So that'll be why this video is important. Also, Mark Sargent is a complete and utter douche canoe and doesn't know shit. So you should probably take that video with a grain of salt. He's also a sellout and a shill. So there is that. He's a total grifter, just so you know. That is, but now we know who your Papa Floaf is, which is great. We can update the Floaf wiki. So Peter or Toon, if we can get Ludwig added to the Floaf wiki, and list Mark Sargent as his daddy Floaf, that'd be great. Important information.
Thanks, Starlink.
Yeah, as Toon said, now we can see the fucking
Yeah, you can see
hardcore
the
barrel
aft
distortion.
flap there making minor corrections.
Starship is turning for final approach to landing site.
Look at that turn.
There we go. Minor corrections and a
But
full
also
turn.
the edge of the camera lens, which is cool. Or the housing, I guess.
Yeah, Starship doesn't fly like an airplane. It's a lot more like a skydiver.
And again, I wouldn't take
Full
this
belly
video and
flop
show it to
on the way
flatties and
down,
say,
using those
look at all
flaps
this
similar to
curve.
arms to help
Like,
change
we know
the-
it's curved because
the
Earth
path
is a
of the
globe,
air over you
objectively, bro.
coming up
But I
real
wouldn't
soon.
present this as evidence because we
Again, going for
know
landing
what
burn,
they'll
trying
nut
to
up.
light 2 of
And
these Raptor
fair
sea level
enough.
engines.
Barrel distortion all over the place. Not reliable.
Landing burn startup.
Landing burn startup.
But hey, if everybody wants
2
to...
engines lit.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Fuck me, that happened fast. I wasn't ready for it.
Flip.
Splashdown, baby.
Buoy cam
Starship is
catching
landed.
it.
Right where the cameras are, pinpoint fucking precision, and kablamo! Boom! Yes! Come on! Fucking nailed it! Oh, we got a boom, say.
To hear, but
But deliberate boom. That's an important
Absolutely
difference.
wild. We, you know, at the beginning of the show,
we're pretty hyped.
we guaranteed excitement at the beginning of the show, and I'd say Starship delivered.
Absolutely.
Oh, cheer USA.
An incredible day for Starship. That was the first flight of that completely redesigned vehicle.
Gas pull down, go boom boom,
As
my
you can
friends.
tell,
Exactly.
The teams are incredibly proud of what we just saw.
Yeah,
As they
V3
should
definitely
be.
Showed up. That
Lady
was-
Tad, thanks
that
for
was
hanging
amazing.
out, dude.
Yeah, we've
Good to
pretty
see
happy
you.
crowd in the control room behind me. I will say it's probably the most excited I've seen a lot of
That
people
was cool as hell.
in a
Galley
really long
Badger!
time, on target landing. Wow. Actually, let's jump over. Hey Tyler, how's everyone holding up in
I mean,
Hawthorne?
yeah.
We're having a great
It was
time,
done,
Dan.
Jim.
Thank you so much. That was another.
I'm just gonna kill SpaceX noise and we can America. Fuck yeah. Starship just got fucking stuffed. So it's done the simulated landing, it's done the swoop maneuver, it's come down straight, touched, and then they just switch everything off and let it fall. And the remaining propellant and everything else, built up gases and whatever, they just let it go. When they get to the point they attempt to catch it with the chopsticks back at launch site, which is the goal for reusability. Once they catch it, they would vent all that gas and get it out, so it doesn't, do that and explode. But it's just like where they put the buoys. Like, we're gonna bring this thing down from space, slow it down from 26,000 kilometers an hour to nothing right here in this spot. And they did it. Like, what? Yeah, it does need the dick docking. Unfornicated. We haven't had any dick docking. That's going to come. No pun intended. That will occur in later missions. Everyday Astronaut put out a video this week. It's like an hour and a half long, looking at the whole like space tanker, space depot refueling scenario for the moon missions for SpaceX. Really, really interesting. Long, but super interesting. Highly recommend it because Tim Dodd does really cool stuff. Been following his shit for a while. But yeah, the practicality of their fuel depots and the number of launches required to fill one of them to prep for each mission. Not entirely practical, but we shall see. MC Toon has updated the Flurf wiki. Let me just copy this. All right, these guys are done. So I'm going to go back to normal chatty screen. Make my face bigger because I'm gorgeous. You're welcome. Close this. Temporarily, just while I prep some things. Yeah, I'm sure. I want to leave the site. Okay. Nice. So here we are on the Flurf wiki. Let me just zoom in. NCT's been kind enough to update this. There we go. Ludwig Strassenhaus. Ludwig Strassenhaus is a baby Flurf. Loves Mark Sargent, plays Gematria. We've had all of that confirmed for us today, which is delightful. Can I make it a bit bigger? I can. Gorgeous. Look how much I got to zoom in. This is why I wear glasses. Gematria. Ludwig Strassenhaus means these things in Gematria. Axel Vatter, Saint Seaman of the Arse Crack, and 70-year-old men. People, you uncover more secrets about our dear friend Ludwig. Let Toon or Peter know, or if you've got access to update Flurf Wiki, feel free. His real name, we don't know. We'll assume it's Ludwig Strassenhaus. His location on the globe is the toilet. His main platform is YouTube. His Papa Flurf is Mark Sargent. We've learned that today. Is he a Flurfsy? We're not sure. Religious Flurf, unknown. Drinks urine, unknown. Adopted by unknown teeth. We're assuming slightly less than the full set. Ludwig, can you help us out? Complete your profile on the Flurf Wiki. Are you a Flurfsy? I'll just go through one question at a time to keep it simple for you. I don't want to overload. That would be unfair. And I'm nothing if not fair and balanced here. So are you a Flurfsy? Axel Vassar, Saint Seaman of the Arse Crack. I'll just use your Gematrian name. It seems the most apropos at this point. See Curious, thanks for hanging out, dude. Love your work. I'm just waiting on the response for Flurfsyism. So talk amongst yourselves while we do that. We never get Flatties visiting here. Anyone can edit Flurf Wiki. They just need a registered account and they have to pass some basic capture tests, which Flatzoid failed. Yeah, had me right up until capture test. And now I'm just like, no. I've written a song about it. I played it earlier. I'm going to play it again.
To enter email and a password. Sorry, that's not you. Must contain a number and a symbol and some ancient runes and change it every other day, and it can't be one you view. They send a code to your email to verify it's you.
I'm not leaving, CK.
Check your email. That's what you were trying to fucking
Are you leaving?
do. Prove you're not a robot. Click every traffic light. Select all the bicycles. None of them are right. Jump through every hoop they've built just to get things done. You've replaced all the workers. Congrats. Now you're the only one. Your call is very important. Please stay on the line. Estimated wait time about 20 years past your prime. Press 1 for confusion. Press 2 for despair. Speak to a representative. Come on, there's no real people there. Sitting on hold. Music's getting old. About to lose my mind. Why do I go through this every single fucking time? Prove you're not a robot. Click every traffic light. Select all the bicycles. None of them are right. Jump through every hoop they've built just to get things done. You've replaced all the workers. Congrats. Now you're the only one. Now you're the only one.
Fuck around with volume.
They made it more efficient. They streamlined everything. Now you do the whole damn job while the bosses sit and spin. Maybe we should all fight back.
Turn it down. Put it in the background. It's too loud in my ear holes. Then my mic's too loud. Still going wrong. Ludwig, are you a Flurfsy? He's not going to play ball. Disappointing. Big Fish says, Ludwig isn't really a Flurf though. It's just another boring globe-denying keyboard warrior too scared to actually step up. I mean, that's fine. Because I still can't really do the guest thing. Yeah, you out, Calder? Peace out, Chief. Good. Good. Again, thanks for hanging out. We'll wrap it up shortly. I've got to have my rant and all the other things that I want to yap about. All right, let's go to Chatty screen. I'm done playing with Axel Vassar, Saint Seaman of the Arse Crack now. Oh, this is a song I wrote called Let's Be Pirates, but you don't get to hear that one. Bloop, killed it. In your face. What the fuck is gematria and why are us old guys mentioned? Lost. Gematria, Jim Daniels. Reload the wiki page. Will do. Thank you for the $5 US, Jim Daniels. Mr. Moneybag. Refresh. Refresh! Oh, did you mean update? Okay, we've got new Gematrian insights. So we've still got Axel versus Saint Stephen of the ass crack. 70-year-old men milk anything with nipples. And my dick reincarnated inside your ass. You know what? I'm coming around on this whole gematria thing. There might be something to it. I know I was tearing shreds off you earlier. Milk anything with nipples, but yeah, now I'm seeing the value. I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong, but at least in your case, obviously we'd need a greater sample size. But in this instance, I'm starting to think gematria is revealing some hitherto unknown truths. Yeah, yeah, crazy. I didn't think it'd be a thing, but the fact we can put Ludwig Strassenhaus into gematria to find out all these different hidden meanings and messages after converting it to numbers, and it spits out that your dick was reincarnated inside your asshole. I mean, I'm yet to see any evidence to the contrary, and I'm assuming you would milk anything with nipples. So, anyway, what was I saying before? Oh, I still can't do the guest thing. It's beyond me. I could use Zoom, pain in the ass. Discord, pain in the ass because I've got to run it on the other computer and run that camera. And I tried it during the Critical Streamathon last year, where you lot raised like 14,000 Australian dollars over a weekend for Critical Think, which is still phenomenal. And you're all beautiful, amazing people for doing that. Just so you know, I made a huge difference in another human being's life. But yeah, the guest thing. I don't know how to drive it. One day I'll figure it out when or if I can be asked. Any more? Let's refresh just in case. No, not yet. Gematria, Jim Daniels. Oh god, this is going to be my search history now. Gematria calculator. Well, let's get the bullshit AI description of gematria because we don't need it to be accurate. It's just stupid and dumb. Blow it up so us old buggers can read it. Gematria is an alphanumeric code and numerological system used to assign numerical values to names, words, or phrases. Predominantly used in Jewish tradition, especially in mysticism and Kabbalah, the practice asserts that if two words or phrases share the same numerical value, they share a deeper, hidden, spiritual, or conceptual connection. And so on and so forth. Rabbis and scholars have historically used gematria to unlock hidden meanings within the Torah and the Tanakh. The Greeks have done it. Modern pop culture, yeah, it's more. Yeah, as I.C. Spin said, it's more dumb and stupid and kind of pointless. There's nothing to it. But just for funsies, because you asked, let's insert the phrase Jim Daniels 1532. No, really? You don't want to? There we go. Jim Daniels. What is it? 1532. I don't know what any of this means. What have we got? He's fixing it for her. Bert Stagg's login, Massachusetts. that mean anything to you, Jim? Massachusetts? Real God testing us. Code tell the truth. Keeper of truth. Tunes into the God. Ends curse be on earth. Is false accusations. In heaven. Are you in heaven, Jim Daniels? Anything else funny? Learn the truth. God. Occultist deleted. Seed of Satan punished. Stand for the US flag. America. Yeah. He's denying I'm God, bride. How dare you, sir? Don't deny that. A request not denied. That checks out. I've heard that about Jim. 666. Told him his truth. Accusations is false. Long time married couple. His lab he found out, Kay. Here, season of his lying. See the trumpet of God. Gross. All right, cool. There you go. That's gematria. You weren't missing much, Jim. You weren't missing much at all, champ. But for Ludwig, totally holds up. Axel Vass, the Saint Seaman of the Arse Crack, aka 70-year-old man, aka milk anything with nipples, aka my dick reincarnated inside your asshole. Like, it holds up. So I guess maybe it depends on how much faith you have as to how much it resonates. I'm not really sure how it works. What I want to talk about, and I mentioned this over on Dan's channel, Fender guitars. Go to guitar.com. So Fenders, you've all seen guitars before. You know what guitars are, right? Fender have been making guitars for a long time, famously designed by one Leo Fender. Some iconic designs: the Stratocaster, the Telecaster, the P-bass or precision bass, whole bunch of things. But they recently, I say recently, for years they've been trying to trademark the body shape of the Fender. Whole bunch of companies copy it and produce guitars that are very similar in design. I own a couple of them. So they've had repeated court cases, and Gibson Guitars have done this as well, suing other guitar manufacturers and builders for copying their designs and trying to trademark it and shut other companies down. And they've lost every single time. Cut to recently, the body shape of a Fender Stratocaster became old enough to enter public domain. So they couldn't trademark it, they couldn't copyright it under US law. If you want to, you can make a guitar with the Stratocaster body shape. What you can't do is replicate the Fender's headstock shape up the other end where the tuning pegs are. You can't do that. That is trademarked, and fair enough. But the body shape in the US, at least, is free for all. What Fender did, or their lawyers did, was sue a small manufacturer out of China who make shit guitars and sell them on Alibaba. It was like Yaiwu Philharmonic Instruments or something like that. But they launched the lawsuit in Germany. Nobody from the Chinese company showed up to defend it because they're dodgy as shit, and they're not going to travel to Germany to defend this court case. But that court case didn't argue the trademark or anything else. What the angle they're taking is that because it was designed by Leo Fender and it's known all around the world, that the body shape of the Fender Stratocaster is in fact art. Now, they didn't win this court case because of the validity of their argument or because of any kind of legal precedent or anything like that. They won the court case because the defendants didn't show up. So they won it by the two greatest words in the English language. Say it with me: default, default, default. Default judgment. as a result of that, what Fender did was send a letter to basically every single guitar manufacturer on the planet that Fender don't own, because it's not just Fender. We're also talking about Jackson guitars. We're talking about, I think, Charvel. We're talking about Gretsch guitars. And I think there's another brand, Squire, famously owned by Fender. So there's a whole bunch of brands that they're in control of. But Fender themselves to other large scale builders like your Ibanez. The only one confirmed so far is a small boutique guitar builder called LSL Guitars. It's a mum and dad operation. They hand make guitars. They make about 500 per year. But pretty much everybody's got one of these letters. They're just not talking about it because everyone's trying to figure out what to do. It's a cease and desist. So basically, this letter says, hey, we won this court case in Germany, which means you can't make or sell any Fender guitars in Europe because the court decision was in Germany. Everybody exports their shit everywhere, or there's a chance that someone from overseas could buy a guitar from a US manufacturer. See where we're going? So they've sent this letter out to not just manufacturers, but retailers as well, insisting that they destroy any Stratocaster shaped musical devices that they have, recall anything that they've sold, and destroy those. Failure to comply, I think, in the letter, I could look it up, but I'm lazy, is like $20,000 per instrument that isn't destroyed by them. Plus, they want damages of like $250,000 from each manufacturer. Some of these builders, like, that's more than they turn over in a year. Not profit, turnover. So it would destroy them. Now, there's a lot of bad actors in the guitar space who pump out cheap, shitty guitars that are horrible. You've seen them in department stores and things like that. They're gross. If there's no brand name on the headstock, avoid. It's a hobby killer. But a bunch of people make Stratocasters, bearing in mind a lot of these copies aren't exact replicas of that shape. They are tweaked. Ibanez are a bit pointier, or they have a like handle thing in them. Some of them have a different butt end, different length of horns, whatever. If the vibe is along those lines, they're saying, no, too close. We want a court case. Fuck you. You can't do it anymore. LSL guitars have started a GoFundMe to fight this in court. No one else has come forward yet to say it's going to happen. But here's my thing. Unlike Dan, I have never really hated Fender guitars. I've been back and forth. I own a lot of guitars. And that the Stratocaster just has a thing, a certain sound, a certain vibe. It's very, very versatile. You can do a lot with it. My Strat copy, so under that ruling, or as per the cease and desist from Fender, that guitar that I own should get recalled and destroyed. To quote Charlton Heston, from my cold, dead hands. But mine has locking tuners, so I don't have the tuning issue, Dan. And I've slammed the trem to the deck, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so there's a lot of dodgy actors, but there's some really good companies doing really unique and awesome shit with guitars that are very different. A standard Strat is a great all-rounder, but it can't do the metal thing, or the thrash thing, or like you can get it to do the punk thing, but there's other instruments that are better suited, that are inspired by a Stratocaster but aren't a Stratocaster. And one of my dream guitars, and the thing I keep saying every year, like for my birthday or for Christmas this year, because I'm a great, it's man, but I still like to give myself excuses to do stupid things, has been, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy myself a proper full-blooded Fender Stratocaster, so that I've got one, and can play that, because that would be cool. Because I've launched this lawsuit, fuck no, am I going to do that. I am not going to walk into a store and hand over anywhere from $1 to $3 to $5,000 for a Fender guitar, where they get a fucking penny of it. Like, fair play. They have a right to defend any trademarks or copyrights or anything else they have. But they don't fucking have that here because courts have already ruled in the US it's not a thing, and that body shape is public domain. It's open to everybody. All this is a blatant cash grab and an attempt to monopolize an industry that they've not been doing great in the last few years. While other manufacturers have been on the rise, Fender had a really good period in the last few years, but they plateaued and started dropping off. And times are tough. Guitars are very much a luxury fucking item. So people aren't spending their money because they've got to pay for, I don't know, fuel or food. And all of that is expensive. I'm sure there's a reason for that, but we won't go into it. Anyway, yeah, so my thing is basically fuck Fender for doing this. It's a really dick move. It's an asshole move. There's no need for it. Anybody who's buying a Fender copy is doing it because they can't afford a fucking Fender. Like, they start at just under 1,000 Australian dollars just to have Fender on the headstock if you're buying one from a store. And then it's just upwards from there. For a custom shop Fender, you're talking easy $3,000 plus. That's a lot of fucking money, and they're not going to get mine. Also, as I mentioned, they own Jackson guitars. They own Gretsch guitars. They own Charvel. Charvel and Jackson are more metal guitars. Are not really my thing. I'm more into blues and rock. But Gretsch guitars, I've always had a soft spot for. I own one. But like Chris Chaney from The Living End plays Gretsch guitars. Brian Setzer, one of my favorite guitarists ever, plays Gretsch's. Later, Copes. Thanks for swinging by. Brian Setzer has always played Gretsch's. I've wanted a big ass, like hollow body, Bigsby Trem Gretsch for years. And now it's like, no, because Fender own them. And I don't want to give Fender any money. So my thing is I've cracked the code. I can still get one. I can still buy one. I can still own one. Timo Lynch is here. Hey, Timo. Good to see you. I was thinking about messaging you the other day, but I didn't know if you were alive or not. And that would make me feel sad if you weren't. So good to know you are still alive. Buy them secondhand. Buy them secondhand. Go on, if you're in the States, Craigslist or whatever the fuck it's called. Here we have like Gumtree, even Facebook Marketplace, wherever. So my whole rant basically is fuck you, Fender Guitars, for being dicks, or at least your lawyers are. You should knock that shit off. Because there's no need for it. You're just trying to eliminate competition and make sure the only way you can get a strat-shaped object is through you. And nobody wants that except for you. So go fuck yourselves. If you do want a Fender, you can absolutely do it. Just buy it secondhand. And that way, you're giving the cash to the person who bought that guitar before all this shit went down. And Fender don't make a cent off it. They get nothing, sir. Good day, sir. That's what I recommend. Schecter, yep, my son has a Schecter guitar, which is great. Plays really nice. That's another brand. Fender ruling doesn't affect the UK because Brexit. I guarantee UK-based manufacturers got a letter. There aren't many of them, but they would have big fish because it's Fender. Wouldn't bother them. Or if they haven't yet, then they will. So along with LSL being the only brand to come forward and say, yep, we got it, No brands have come out to say we didn't. And I don't blame them because I'd probably get one the next day. But yeah, that's my thing. Get them secondhand. Go to like a local retailer and buy them secondhand. Go to pawn shops and get them secondhand. Get them online, which is a bit riskier, but do not buy a brand new Fender guitar or a Squier guitar or a Gretsch guitar or a Jackson guitar or a Chauvel guitar. Don't do it. I feel horrible for the people who work in those factories. I don't want to see anybody losing their job because that sucks. The workers and the craftsmen. Not at all. Not at all. And what I'm saying, it isn't going to make a lick of difference to anybody. I get that. Like the people who work in those factories and make those guitars, like they love this shit. That's why they do it. And if they don't, they're making a living. I don't want that to stop, especially at the moment for anybody. Okay, cool. So British are off the hook for now until Fender pursue one and get a precedent set, which they absolutely will at some point. Some companies have shifted from making good stuff to legal fights. Says Canadian Space Advocate. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you make a better product, or I don't know, reduce the price to compete with budget brands who are outselling you on the reg. I was looking at one the other day, right? A Fender Vintera 3 Jazzmaster, brand new, would be about $3,500. Was it a Vintera? It might not have been a Vintera. It might have been a 62 reissue. Anyway, it was $3,500. I can go and get a guitar that is basically identical from Artist Guitars, an Australian retailer who I really like. They get their stuff made in Indonesia with P90 pickups, and I love their P90 pickups. They sound amazing. But the body shape, the scale length, everything else is almost the same as the Fender for $349. $3,500 versus $349. 10% of the cost. Why the fuck would I buy a Fender? And why would you go after a company selling it for $350? Like, just because they're undercutting you, like, maybe think about what you're doing. Like, $3,500 is a fucking car. Crazy. Crazy shit. Anyway, I'm just scrolling down. Sorry for any flickers. Trying to find the exact figures. Yeah. Yeah, can't find it. Back in 2009, Fender lost a high-profile US case when the brand attempted to file trademarks for the Strat Telly and P-Bass body shapes, protested by a group of makers who got it cancelled. In the years since, it was widely assumed that this defeat, following up from Gibson's loss in a lawsuit against PRS, gave other builders the freedom to use body shapes, provided they didn't infringe on things like headstock shape. Gibson did win a case against Dean Guitars over the Flying V shape. Fair enough. The Fender ruling was not a trademark dispute. Both lost trademark cases for body shapes in the EU. But they've shaped that as an artistic work they can copyright a different way. Yeah, it's messed up. And that's kind of all I wanted to whinge about today, was just like, I think it's gross and disgusting and blatant cash grab. Bad for the music industry at large. Like, here's the thing. No person who is considering learning guitar, be they a child, an adult, later in life, middle age, whatever, nobody is going into a music store and walking out with a Fender guitar that costs thousands of dollars to learn on, other than finance bros who are total fucking douchebags anyway. Nobody is doing that. When you start playing guitar, you get something cheap and nasty. Well, hopefully not nasty, because again, they're a hobby killer, but something cheap so that if it doesn't take, you haven't burned a huge hole in your bank account. I said hole, I know. It's tradition. Your first guitar is always on the lower end of the scale, and then as you improve and you get better and you learn more and you get into all the nerdy shit like action height and pickup types and shit I'll never care about, like scale length or neck radius or compound radius or whatever the hell. When you become the kind of person who gives a shit what type of wood the body is made out of a guitar, because you convinced yourself it makes a difference on an electric, that's when you go out and buy a Gibson or a Fender. But you don't have to. You don't do it first up. So all this shit from Fender does, it makes it potentially a fuck ton more difficult for people to get interested in music and learn how to play guitar. And that makes me sad and that makes me angry. Like, yeah, it's shit. And I guess the case could be made was like Fender owned Squier. That's the other brand. Squier guitars, and they make their stuff cheap. It's like, yeah, but they're still owned by Fender. And again, that proves my argument. Squier guitars, made in a different factory to Fender, but the same shape, same headstocks, blah, 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 blah. And professional, big name fucking musicians go on tour and play stadium shows playing Squiers instead of full-blooded Fenders, because they're cheap and they're disposable. Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day will get up and play a show, and he's been doing this thing 4 years where they'll play King for a Day or some other song. He gets someone up on stage to play guitar, and then he gives them the guitar. He's not giving them his Gibson signature Les Paul Jr. that's worth $3,500 to $5,000. He's giving them an Epiphone or some other knockoff that is a fuck ton cheaper, because that shit's expensive. But the budget versions. But again, the problem with Squier is they're owned by Fender, and I, for one, don't want to support Fender in any way, shape, or form at the moment, because they're pulling this shit and like just trying to eliminate their competition, who aren't their competition. Artist guitars here in Australia aren't competing with Fender. They're selling guitars that are similar shapes to what Fender make, but it's not a Fender, in my opinion. It's better, because if something fucks up with that guitar, I can have a new one here in 3 or 4 days, and it's not going to cost me thousands of dollars. I'll have it for less than I pay in rent, at least, which is a good thing. You can't do that with a Fender. You barely even do that with a full-size Squier these days. And Gibson and Epiphone are no better, because Epiphone are no longer like mid-range to budget guitars. They are expensive as fuck, and I don't know how that happened. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's crazy. But yeah, again, just to reiterate, fuck Fender. If you do play guitar and you want to get one, go out and get it secondhand. Don't give a cent to money-hungry, competition-killing, corporate overlord, fuckbag assholes. End rant. But we also got to see a fucking amazing rocket launch this morning or tonight, whatever it is, for all you lot out there in internet land. Has this been updated? Yes, we've had an update for Ludwig Strassenhaus, who is a baby Flurf, who loves Mark Sargent and also plays Gematria. We don't know if they're a Flurfsy or religious Flurf, drink urine, who they've been adopted by. We know they have slightly less than a full set of teeth, And the new entry under the gematria for the name is "Hello Illuminati, I love you," which is nice. And I'm glad he can recognize them and is starting to make some peace. It's a positive sign, and I respect that. Dougal says Fender had decades of tying down protection of their body shapes. I have sympathy for people, companies protecting their designs, but they just let it go too long, and now their efforts are a bad look. Yeah, and they tried to lock in a trade. If they had a trademark and copyright everywhere, then yep, fair play, protect that shit, absolutely. But they fought for it for decades, as you've said, Dougal, and they fucking lost. Courts ruled and said, no, sorry. So they have to wear that. And then to turn around and say, well, the guitar's a work of art. Like, some of them, yeah, whether it's a really limited run and they've had a master builder work on it and it doesn't have a stock standard paint job, where it's just gone through a machine that sprayed pink or purple on it and then a bit of lacquer and whack it in a box and ship it out. They're mass produced. So no, that's not art. The art happens once a musician picks it up and creates something with it. That's the art. Guitars are amazing instruments. And I'm not saying people don't work their ass off to make it. No, not at all. Even the cheap ones. Over on the Know Your Gear channel with Phil McKnight, he's done tours of the factories in like Indonesia where they make them. And even where people are massively under the pump and churning these things out every day. Like, they care about what they do and the quality is there. Like, it matters to these people. It's important. But I don't think any of them will call it art. They're doing a job and they're mass producing musical instruments. If you're mass producing something, to me, you can't class that as art. Art is unique. It's a unique expression of something that realistically happens once and you don't replicate it. You get that out and that is done, like writing a song or painting a picture or carving a sculpture or writing a poem or whatever it is. And maybe you iterate on that, but once it's done, it's done. But you can't tell me a body shape of a guitar where there are literally millions of them around the world. Not every single one of those can be regarded as a piece of art. Not even every single one in Europe could be called a piece of art. Because people are idiots like me and they slap stickers on them. Anyway. Dan, you should absolutely do a video series about making a cigar box guitar. That'd be cool as shit. Later, big fish. We're going to wrap it up right about now, actually. I'm going to get out of here. I have to go and organize all my gear, make sure everything's charged because I've got to be at sound check in about 4 hours. And I need to practice because I'm playing a gig tonight. The band is called Safe Word. You can find them on Facebook. There's a website as well, Safe Word Live Music. You can check that out. We don't play any originals. We were just doing covers and shit. But there are pictures of me looking like an absolute pillock in a purple pimp suit. So those exist and you can check it out. And if you want to go and drop a follow on the Book of Face for Safe Word, please do so because the singer will freak out. She manages social media. If it had a little spike in numbers, she'd be like, what the fuck happened? And I won't tell her and it'll be funny. So yay. Congratulations to SpaceX. We lost the booster, but fuck me, did they land Starship and get it down on the deck. That was cool as hell. I'm adjusting my window because I just realized I never fixed this after my last ranty little stream thing. It's too big. It's freaking me out. There we go. That'll do. Everyone good with that? Yeah. And I can have better. I will whack a song on to take us out if everything works. I went ham on Suno a little while ago. So these are all like demos and concepts of ideas I've been putting together. I played some riffs and plugged those in, written all the lyrics and everything else, with a view to eventually either forming another band or getting the band to do it. Yes, the band is called Safe Word, and the safe word is harder. Is how that works. Yeah, it's gonna be fun as shit. Yeah, but congrats to SpaceX. That was cool as hell watching it with all of you. MC2 was here, for goodness sake, hanging out in the Debunkatorium. It's the place to be when I stream every 6 months. But this is really fun. Love seeing you all. I will go to some form of ending screen. I just need to check my sources. Like, it doesn't matter because no one's going to be watching the ending. Ending video doesn't have sound, audio capture. I don't know. What dipshit closed VLC? Who was it? Was it you, Dan? God damn it. Take your pick, people. What do you want? What do you want? What you want? You've got some choices. Okay, you can have a song called 5 More Minutes, a song called Let's Be Pirates, or a song called Please and Thank You. Make your selecciones. Let me know what you want. I'd create a poll, but ain't nobody got time for that. I'm just bringing the chat back up so I can see what's there. Dan was pirate. All right, pirate song. It is. It's got like crowdy shit in it or something. Can't remember. Pretty good though. I was happy with it. So pirate song. I'll let it run. God damn it. There we go. Sweet. Thank you all again for hanging out. Rocket launch was awesome. Rocket landing was très spectacular. The view of Starship from the Huatua spat out satellite thing was cool as shit, and I loved sharing that with all of you and talking about it. Going to town on a floodie, that's always fun. We'll be doing more of this as the mood strikes, but I do need to dash because I really have to pee. So we'll get this song fired up and go from there, I suppose. Peace out, people. Be excellent to each other. Look after yourselves. Stay happy. Stay positive. And don't let everything get you down too much. The world is just a complete and utter fucking dumpster fire at the moment. But all of you are beautiful people. You're awesome. And I love you to death. Until next time, I shall see you next time. Peace out. Let's be fucking pirates.
Sick of work.
No, god damn it. This has all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. Show inactive sources. That's not good. That's not good at all. I clicked on the wrong thing. Here's where I want it to be. Hang on. Okay. All right, this will work. Let's go back. Let's try that again. Chatting page. Yeah. Try this again. Bye, everybody. Nothing went wrong. Everything's fine. Everything's wonderful. Blah, blah, blah. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Eat a dick. Awesome. Here we go. And again. Let's be fucking pirates.
Sick of work and paying bills, alarms and kids and lack of thrills. 9 to 5, can't walk the plank. We're done with all the pointless wank. No more meetings, deadlines, overtime. You can kiss our ass, not this time. We're clocking out for good today, and we're sailing far away. Let's be pirates, let's be pirates. We can plunder, fight and drink. We'll rule the seven seas, at least until we sink. No more kings and no more thrones. Let's embrace the skull and bones. Army hearties, yo ho ho. It's a pirate's life for me. We'll need a ship to rule the seas. Turns out they don't come cheap. So we'll visit our old mate Steve, and we'll steal his sweet tinny. She's packed with beers and dodgy rum, esky full and the speakers on. If she floats, untie the ropes. Avast ye scurvy dogs, let's fucking go. Let's be pirates, let's be pirates. We can plunder, fight and drink. We'll rule the ocean's blue, at least until we sink. No more kings and no more thrones. Let's embrace the skull and bones. Army hearties, yo ho ho. It's a pirate's life for me. Hoist the flag, skull and bones painted on with spray we stole. Let it fly for all to see. We don't kneel for anything. No more laws and no more chains. No more playing their dumb games. What you have, we'll take.